Hey up, how we all doing? Looks like we've got some new names. I don't recognise some of you people. So the point of this stream is to test whether or not Starlink works better now that I've changed some of the settings. So we shall see. I've lowered the frame rate to 30 rather than 60, and I've set it to not slow mode. To hang on, what did I set it to? I set it to low latency rather than ultra low latency. So hopefully the stream's not going to fall over. Yeah, so there should be about a 5-ish second delay on the chat, but hopefully that means that the stream will stay healthy. I won't be on for super long tonight, I just wanted to give it a test and see how it goes. Okay, so what have I been up to today? This is all very off the cuff today. I haven't prepared anything or arranged anything or thought about it beforehand. So earlier today I started making a list of to-dos. So this is essentially things which need doing on the sensors panel and the associated holo display. And I've just been going through it sort of page by page, working that out. And then I stopped doing that because something else occurred to me, which was the fact that we don't know how much something has been scanned just by looking at it. And let's have a look. So I thought of something like this, so you can see when you've done a long, medium and short range scan. And I wasn't sure whether or not to do just a simple indicator like this, with growing size depending on the level of scan, or whether or not to just make them the same size to even it out. Oh no, is it not working? Let's see what this is doing. So this is the actual YouTube server that we're streaming to. Okay. So if we go, ooh, make everyone sick a minute. Let's not make everyone sick. Let's just run around here. Yeah, this is on Starlink, which on the 3 times that I've tried it now, it hasn't done very well with keeping a stream going. Okay, we shall persevere. Yeah, so with the indicators, I figured we'll leave the percentages on the main long range display, because this is referring to the system as a whole. So the information that this is giving you is that this system is on the whole like 0% explored. Whereas if you go into, say, a system like that, this is saying that this object has been scanned this many times. So obviously the small indicator is a long range, the middle one's a medium range, and then the big one is a short range scan. That's interesting. There shouldn't be anything downloading. Okay, so now that we've got this, I suppose we should hook them up to something. And then when they're not scanned, I'll probably do something like give it an opacity of 0, and then maybe a saturation of 0, opacity of 25%, just to kind of sell the idea that it's not been scanned. Maybe even less. I use now, I can't remember. 0.9, 0.75. There we go. We're working on the individual scan indicators for each individual object, so we know whether or not it has been scanned and to what extent. And while we're at it, we may as well fix the fact that it shows the scan button even though you've scanned everything, so we'll sort that out at the same time. Right, so let's grab this list item. Let's make sure that these are all variabled up, and they are. Okay. So this should be relatively straightforward to change the color of these, because we should have that scan information already here. We shunt this one out of the way a little bit, grab a copy of that. Yeah, so the long range and the medium range will just be a one shot done, because nothing that they reveal to you will change at any point. They're just high level overviews. The short range scan you'll be able to do as often as needed. pretty sure we have to do these as canvas slots, and that should allow us to set the tint on them. Do we have to do it from brush, maybe? Ah, yeah, do it from there. Okay. Never remember which way around to do that. Yeah, the only sensor mode I've really put any real thought into is the GPS. So the GPS mode uses a known stellar catalogue, so we're assuming that you're bringing that catalogue with you from Earth, and then it compares the stars in the sky against that catalogue to work out the exact position of the ship in the galaxy. That's more of a visual thing on the GPS. The other sensor modes really are up for debate. Seem to have lost the ability to type. And I've not been drinking, honest. Right, so if long range scan is true, then we want 120.975, I believe. And if it's false, we want 0, 0. Give it a point. It's true, it's true. Claire's not here to keep an eye on me tonight, so I can do whatever I want. And what that actually means is I can get things done without being interrupted. So we haven't actually dealt with this individual system bodies thing yet. So that is something that we will have to have a look at when we actually implement the short range scan button. So I'm guessing really for each of these we need to run a match against the coordinates, I suppose. So we may actually switch to using a text-based location ID built from the coordinates. I think for now we'll just use the seed. It's just a simple integer and we can match those easily enough. So if that equals that, actually that needs to be a for each with a break. So of course if it's true and we have a matching value, then we need to break the loop. Otherwise it will go ahead and recolor the thing next time around. Okay, so if that seed is the same as the ID we've stored, get the scan value, and change the color accordingly. Should be simple enough. There was an easier way of doing this. That should work, but I swore I did it differently before. Yes, you can do it from here, maybe. Apparently not. Okay, well, fine, we'll do it this way. Is it worth making that a macro? Why not? No errors, that should work. Interesting. Sort of works. Okay. I suppose it would help actually if I set the defaults. See, they're defaulting to green, which is not good. Better. Could do with being a bit darker, perhaps. At least we can see now that we've done short and medium range, sorry, long and medium range on those planets. Go and check out one we haven't scanned yet. So let's have a look at this one. Okay, so nothing has been scanned. So after this survey, they should all have one green blob. Fingers crossed. Ah, okay. Working as intended. Let's just hop across to that system. This should light up 2 blobs. Didn't give us 2 blobs. What if we refresh that? No. No. Okay, it's showing us 25%, so... Oh, hang on, did I connect up the wrong pin? Oh no, that was the right pin. Interesting. So terrestrial planet literally just means rocky planet, as opposed to a gas planet. It's the terminology that's used within the astrophysics community. Yeah, essentially just that. It's just a passive scan. So when you first click on a star system, it knows how many planets there are and whether or not they're gaseous or rocky. But that's it. That's literally all it knows. Once you've done the scan, then it can glean whether or not they have atmospheres, but not a lot else. I mean, some of that can be explained away by the fact that there are stellar catalogues from Earth that you've brought with you that have a very basic understanding of the stellar layout. The moons will appear on the medium range sensors, but not the long range. They'll never appear on the long range sensors. Mainly because I don't have room for them. Yeah, so on the long range, you've got the individual sector locations, i.e. the subsectors, that 1 cubic light year. And by default, it's probably a bad example because we've scanned that one. By default, you just know that there's a rocky or a gas planet. That's it. That's all you know. And then obviously the scan reveals whether it has an atmosphere or not. So that's an extra layer of information. We can also reveal a bit more data here as well. So we'll have a think about what data is pertinent on the long range when you've scanned it. And then on the medium range, it should show you even more. And then on this is where we'll include the moons. So the medium range sensors will have visibility of moons by default, but again, no information about them specifically. So once you've done your system-wide scan, then the moon's data will be populated fully. Yeah, I've just noticed that actually it's saying there's not enough bandwidth, but pings seem to be all right. Good question, Oninoni. You could argue that there are, well, we do know about exoplanets in any given system, and obviously we know about that now in 2024. You'd think in 200 years we'd probably know a lot more. So we could perhaps pre-populate some of the data for systems that have known exoplanets already. We can have a good think about that as we refine things. Yeah, the Sol system was already listed as fully explored. It's the first thing that's in the save data. This particular system, however, according to... Oh no, it is still showing 10%. Let's just do that medium range scan again. I have a feeling that didn't save. Not save. so our long range is definitely saving. Let's hop over to that system just to see whether or not the medium range is not saving. Okay, yeah, so it looks like the medium range is not saving all of a sudden, which is weird because it was working. Yeah, it's definitely still only showing 10%. Right, okay, so that needs fixing. What do we have here? Does that have a map? Yes, it does. Okay, at least that's still working. So I think I'll make that a bit darker. And let's figure out what's happening with that long range scan. Medium range, even. Okay, we send through that goes through to there. Using that action message. Okay. Going through to there. To the medium range. That was definitely that. We're firing this event through here with a vector range. Firing that. Which takes us through to here. So we're looping our array, and we have a matching set of coordinates. We update the values. And otherwise we add a new hang on a minute. No, that's fine because we're setting it there, so yeah, I've just had YouTube come up and say that it's having bandwidth issues again. We had one timeout by the looks of things. But again, these are ICMP packets which are very low priority, and the first thing to get dumped. So packet loss on here doesn't necessarily mean real packet loss. Well, I think this tells us then that the settings that I used for Starlink are still not good enough. Yeah, well, the bitrate is set to 10,000, which might very well be a bit too high. Can I change that on the fly? I'm going to try something a minute. I don't know whether this changes in real time, but I've just lowered the bit rate to 7,000 rather than 10,000. We'll see whether that helps or not. You reckon 6? Alright, I'll give 6 a try. I mean, when I was doing video conversions before, I always used 5,000, so it should be more than enough. It let me save it and apply. I don't know whether it actually did it though. Yeah, just in the output, I've just changed it there. Was that of any value, really? Alright, we'll persevere, see if it's see if YouTube complains again. It says the stream status is excellent. The music is this stream. There's a few different streams that they do. These are all sort of no copyright lo-fi, so I just pick a random one each time. While we're here, let's try that. Why are they different colours? Oh, I know why. Oh, that's interesting actually. So I've set the default as that one still, but I updated the one in the actual code, so it's definitely colouring it as though it's reporting false on the Boolean value. try that scan again. Right, so that's definitely not updating. I know this bit's happening, so let's start our spam from here. Searching for matching explored locations. Match found. No match. Using the same vector coordinates. This one's going to be an absolute pain, actually, because right now all we're doing is we're just sending through a single vector, and we're saying this galactic coordinate location has been scanned to this degree. Picking out individual planets, we're going to have to make an array on this, and then add a bunch of planets to it. See, not even that, to be honest, because we're going to have to pull it out and check for matching ones that are already there. Yeah, that's a problem for future Dan. Yes, Abrogator, for the most part. I would say practically everything I'm working on is using blueprints, and those blueprints then get converted to C++ once the system is working as intended, and if it needs any real-time code. Ah, that's good to know, CSI, thanks. Okay, so it found a match. Thank you. Ah, okay, cool. Gotta love some nerdy stats. Okay, let's try that again. So it reckons that it's doing it. No, Claire's currently driving, so she has no idea that I'm streaming. Thanks, CSI. It's good to know. Actually, I'll drop the quality down then to 5,000. And technically, that's 25% of what my upstream should be. Let's give it another quick try. Be interesting to see whether the stream lags when I do this. Actually hit 210 yesterday. I was very happy. Interesting. That was a pretty poor download to usual. Come on, Starlink, you can do it. Yeah, something I've noticed with Starlink is it does vary wildly on what speeds you get. Like I said yesterday, I was getting 200 megabit down, which was pretty crazy. And then tonight I'm only getting 68. So we know that that's working. And we know that it's definitely getting a match. Actually, why don't we get an idea of what it's matching? Yes, you can, Scotty. I can see it. Oh yeah, I forgot we were having a CME. That's 26667 minus 355. Yeah, 56 even. So the coordinates definitely match. So it's not that. And then we're definitely setting those variables there. I wonder if it's actually at the other end. Is it actually a read problem rather than a write problem? So that would be the list item we're looking at. And then that one, that's the explored one. Let's see whether those values actually match, because if they don't, then that would explain it. Though, it is working for the long range, so I would expect them to match. Immediately see a problem there, and that is that obviously we're saving galactic coordinates, we're comparing it against local coordinates. Oh good, pleased to hear it. I always look at solar ham. Oh yeah. Oh wow, yeah. I would say give it an hour. Hopefully that might creep down to where, because I'm here. It would explain why Starlink's playing up though. Which I find cool. I mean, just the notion that my internet connection is being affected by something in space, that's kind of cool. Okay, let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, if you're interested in what the sun's doing, then Solar Ham's really good. Let's see, G4, geomagnetic storm. I shall take a screenshot of that, I reckon. Claire's just messaged me saying, "Why are you on Do Not Disturb?" And I'm like, well, I'm streaming. Yep, she's just found out I've been busted. She's just arrived at the hotel. She's off with the kids for the night, so I shall disappear off myself shortly. Ah, thank you, Creek. That's good. Oh wow, that's really nice. That's about what it was to the naked eye down here in Somerset last time round. It was just smudges of colour in the sky. There were no defined bands or anything, but it was still cool to see. It's the first time I've ever seen it in my life. The next stream will be Sunday. This was just an impromptu thing, just to have a mess around whilst Claire was out. Oh, nice. Hopefully we'll get it down here then. Okay, so we are definitely sending through the galactic coordinates. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Definitely using the right data. Definitely sending the galactic coordinates. Definitely sending that through here. That's definitely matching there. We're definitely setting that there. So I think the only thing we can do with this is just check those values as we go. So we're setting our variable locally. Let's just do a quick check on this one then. So we'll do that. So that is true. Out. Coordinates. Medium. Hey, check right there. Hopefully you're still in one piece after that hurricane in Florida. Good, good. Oh, that's interesting. It's reporting false. Why is it reporting false? I mean, we've literally just set the value as true. So we're using the same variable. We're literally setting the members there. That's what we can do, really. We've got to do it that way. So we're setting it there. And that's obviously reporting true, because we're setting it true there. And all we're doing is just updating the rep notify with our variable, which we have updated because we're doing it there. But then it's reporting false. So this is literally how we're doing it on the long range as well. There's like no difference between them. So it's reporting true here. And then by the time it gets down here, it's false. What? We know this bit's working, so that's all fine. So I wonder whether or not what it's doing is it's not actually writing the value. So we're checking it here and it's correct. So we'll check it after the loop has run just to make sure that that has actually been set. So using the same array, pulling out the same array item. So if this yellow one reports false, it means that that is not setting that value in the array properly. Okay. So the reason that the long range is working is because we're adding a whole unique record. So that is obviously not working. Gives me an idea. So we know which array index is matching. So why don't we try this instead? So rather than setting it there, if we get a reference that array index, and then we set the members there, then we're setting that directly rather than what I suspect is the copy of it here rather than an actual reference. Let's see whether that works. Perfect. Pleased to hear it. Hopefully that means on Sunday we'll be alright then. Right, fingers crossed. Hopefully this will work. Aha! Yes, that worked. And it's also working here as well. Right, so that was indeed the problem. So when we were looping through the array of structs, we were working on a copy of the array element and not a direct reference. So we needed to get a direct reference and then set the members on that. Rather than the copy. That's probably a bit of a schoolboy error, to be honest, but whatever. Works now. Yeah, it wasn't being reset as such. It's just that, like, when you get a reference from an array, you can get a copy of it like that, or you can get a reference to it. And there's a very subtle difference between these two. So a copy, anything you do to that copy doesn't affect the source array, whereas with a reference, anything you do to it does affect the source array. And of course that is a copy, not a reference. So that's why it was doing what it was doing. Yeah, exactly that, Reverblade. It was just losing the data. It wasn't... What we were setting was just a temporary copy of the data. We weren't setting the actual data, which is why this wasn't doing anything. It's good timing for us, just I was about to end the stream. Now that we got it fixed. Do, however, just want to lower the opacity on these, or the brightness rather of those. I think 0.5 should be dark enough. Well, seeing as you ask, I shall demonstrate. See ya, Dropping Genie. Thanks for joining. So I wanted a way of indicating how much within a system has been explored. So right now we've got a percentage for the system as a whole, but if we go into, say, that system there, I've added these indicators for the individual objects within the system. So you can see each one is indicating that it has a long range scan because it's got the tiny amount of data. Whereas this system here, you can see that it has more data available because we've also done the medium range survey. So the only way to get 3 blips is to go and scan each one of these planets individually, which is the next thing on the to-do list. Which means that in order to achieve 100% within a system, all of these need to be green across the board. And then you know that that's it. You've 100% explored everything there is to explore. Which is now working. So adding that one final step for per object scanning, that's going to be more complicated for the simple reason that we're not just dealing with a single has this coordinate been scanned or not with a single vector. We're having to do that on a per planet basis. Yeah, YouTube's having a fit too. Still nothing here though. Yeah, I'm still going to blame the sun. So it's understandable that that it's going to be a bit flaky tonight. So I guess this isn't a true test. Do this again actually. Give that a try. Yes, Festus, you can now go up to 25%, and very soon to 100%. Oh, that didn't like not being highlighted. Yeah, I think I'll start Sunday's stream using these settings, and then we'll see how we go with it. Wow. Starlink is not happy. Yes, the Sol system will start at 100%. The only reason it doesn't right now is because we haven't populated the data. Yeah, so I think the Starlink satellites are being absolutely mullered by the solar storm. But yeah, if we look at so within this struct, we should have a default of Sol and its planets. I might add that to the struct itself. I think I've set the default on game state. Hang on, let's have a look at it. Where is it? Yeah, so that one. So So you can see that we've got the coordinates for Sol as our first array item, with long range and medium range ticked, but no system bodies. So what I need to do is I need to go through, and then for each of these I need to add, so like one scanned, and so on. So that would be Mercury, that would be Venus, so on and so on. So I need to put what is essentially the seed for that planet, and just tick the fact that it's been scanned. That's then saved as the default, which means Earth is on there as a fully explored system. For the procedural systems, we have to build this struct procedurally as we arrive and scan things. Ooh, nice. Yeah, the way that the scan is set up is you can actually avoid doing the long range scan if you just do a medium range. So you can see the medium range ticks the long range by default. So basically it's implied that you've done a long range if you've done a medium range, because the medium range supersedes that data anyway. Same as if you do, actually no, we can't do that with a short range because you're only scanning a single object, but the medium range at least will supersede the long range and just implicitly tick it. Okay, well, now that all that is working, I'm going to go outside and see if I can see an aurora. So I shall bid you all adieu until Sunday's stream. And we'll give these Starlink settings another try then. Hopefully, we won't be in the middle of a G4 geomagnetic storm on Sunday, but you never know. Lots of sunspots at the moment. Thanks, CSI. Right, there we go. Just clicking thingies. Will do. Alright, have a good rest of the week, everyone, and I shall see you on Sunday. Bye for now.